And we're live. Welcome to Radio Mythoverse for July 30th, 2019. You just heard the Changeling theme from Zal and Talus. Maeve Mackenzie is the lead character of Changeling, and she's the youngest of the Mythoverse 3. We join her at the beginning of her story at age 14 as a young, socially awkward Christian girl who suddenly discovers that she is a changeling, or a fae baby that was switched for a human baby. Hers is a very fascinating story, and Zal and Talus did a great job capturing the tone of the tale with that track. Now, the digital download of that track was made available in our recently funded Kickstarter campaign, so if you backed it at certain tiers, you will receive a copy of that song in your inbox, along with the rest of the digital rewards you can expect to get from us. Zalin has done a lot of work for a lot of different independent creators, including the Rags team, whom we all love, so he is quite the prolific composer. I'll put a link to his channel called Comic Book Music down below the video in the description. So, in addition, under that song, you saw the Neon Maeve animation, the adorable animation based on the Neon meme with a Mythoverse twist. Ginger Foxy's responsible for that, and Brett McGowan animated it and made it come to life. So, good evening, folks. I'm Dan, one of the lead creators and editor-in-chief of the Mythoverse, and with me tonight, as always, are the other two lead creators, our head of community outreach, Brett McGowan, and our head writer, Matt Trin. Hey, guys, how you guys doing today?
Good. Really good.
I'm good. I got back from the dentist and I got a clean bill of health.
You got a clean bill of health? So they're not going to have to put you under and rip you to pieces?
Nope. I mean, like, aside from some minor gum inflammation, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. Which, I mean, that's easy to fix. Just gotta brush and floss But best part, didn't have to pay for anything. Insurance covered everything.
Insurance covered? Isn't that a great feeling?
Huh. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I would do without health insurance with 3 kids that constantly need visits to the doctor. And my 8-year-old went to the ER. My 8-year-old went to the ER like 3 times before she was a year old. That was fun.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm good. About the only thing I gotta do is go back in about 6 months.
Yeah, so there are no outstanding problems, no cavities to fill, nothing.
Like, God damn it! It's like my teeth are indestructible or something.
Well, don't count on that lasting forever. I mean, you're still a relatively young man. Just in 10 years, get back to me. Let me know what the state of your mouth is.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, you mentioned in the chat that you can barely hear anything. Is that still the case?
I double checked. Okay, it was the theme song barely came through, but everything else is okay.
That's weird. As far as OBS was concerned, desktop audio was bouncing out of the yellow and green, so hopefully everything was all right. All right. Well, Gorgonite Emissary is already in the chat, present and erect, so glad to see him as always. Always makes the chat more interesting. So, as always, I like to start off the show with some good news. Most of the stuff I have to report on the non-community and or non-project front is more of the slightly less interesting behind-the-scenes business variety. We got a lot of that work done this week, Brett and Matt and myself. It's not a lot of fun to talk about, but it's nonetheless very important to get done. Mainly, we took some time to get all of our ducks in a row as far as our procedures for working with other creators, aside from the artists working on our books and a number of other things. There's quite a bit to all that. I won't bore you with the details, but suffice to say that while we here over at the Mythoverse never rest on our laurels, this past week has been the busiest on the business end since the campaign, at least from where I was sitting. But it's all good. We're getting the processes in place that'll help us keep that foundation solid for our growing business and all the creators that we're going to be working with. So, necessary evil.
It's fucking paperwork.
It's paperwork, lots of paperwork, and lots of paperwork, and lots of paperwork. And then some more when you're done with that paperwork. And then you got to fill out paperwork to get paperwork. That's fantastic.
All I can say is I'm kind of glad you were you joined up with us, Dan, because this is shit that would have flown completely over my head if I'd been doing this on my own.
Yeah, well, that's why it's good that there are three of us. Like I said, we each play to our strengths. When we sat down and decided what we were all going to be responsible for, I wanted to make sure that we were all in our wheelhouse. We were all in our ballywick, and we were all playing to our strengths. And I think it all worked out great. Brett, you're kicking ass on the community front. Matt's really coming up with some great ideas and getting everything all, consistent on the story end. And yeah, just leave the boring stuff to me. I'll see if I can keep up with that. And I think everything's going to work out great. So I really, like you said, if it were all of us working separately, it would not nearly be as efficient, and we would not have gotten nearly as far as we have today. So I'm really glad it worked out.
Probably not. But yeah.
Gorgonite says, this one could be potentially more interesting because I got a special surprise. I'd like to pitch something for the Mythoverse. Oh my goodness.
That is either going to be really cool or really bad.
Oh, have mercy.
Depends on what you mean by bad.
Have you seen what he does in the chat?
Yeah,
yes.
he definitely keeps it lively and interesting, to say the least. So anyway, another little piece of good news I'd like to talk about that's slightly more exciting than the mountains of paperwork is that we made a lot of good headway on our upcoming audio cast. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but one of the things that I'm really excited about is I got the main narration for our first short story turned in by our new narrator. Her name is Corinne LePage, and she is amazing. And Addison Peacock has reprised her role as Adobe Kroger. If you've listened to the audiobook, Adobe Kroger Knight Errant, she has returned and has voiced Adobe's character in this short story. In addition to that, Brett has completed his portion of this first episode. Do you want to talk a little bit about it without spoiling too much, Brett?
Okay, it is. It's a I guess you could say a stream of consciousness sort of deal. It's told from the perspective of Maeve's best friend Jenny, and in case you don't know this, she's not going to show up until issue 3, and that's because she is the new girl in town, and she moved up from California, Sacramento to be specific. There are reasons why, and this sort of goes into detail why she moved up to Aberdeen, and it's basically her during her last night in Sacramento and thinking about the events that led up to it. And the voice actress I tapped is that is currently auditioning for it is Blossom from the Kumite.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, Blossom. Yeah, Raven is buddy with Blossom. Yeah, and Blossom just DM'd me right before we went live, saying that she's gonna try and get the recording done tomorrow.
Nice. So, would you say, Brett, that it's fair that if you were to listen to this small chapter in Jenny's life, would you have a better understanding of where she's coming from when we meet her in Changeling?
I guess you could. I'd say you could. Like, it's not gonna be stuff that it's gonna be immediately apparent, but it's one of those things that is gonna put because it's not gonna be immediately apparent when she makes her debut, but you'll kind of see shades of that. So that it's just sort of let's just say there's a reason she doesn't talk about this part of her life.
Okay, well that's very cool. There's she's a little bit guarded about this, you'd say, and this gives us a little bit of understanding that we might not have otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, like she kind of exists as more of a foil to me. Like she's a lot more extroverted, way more tomboyish than she is. And this would kind of put a lot of her behavior in perspective.
Okay, very cool. I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to hear Blossom's interpretation. So, Matt, you also have turned in something for the first episode. Do you want to talk about what you have there?
Basically, it's a short piece that goes more into the lore of the spirit realm. And it's narrated by Lauren, who voiced Althea for the trailer.
Nice. So, I noticed that it's something of a journal entry that Althea has been writing. Is that how it's going to be presented?
Yep. What better way to put out the lore of the spirit realm than to do it through Althea's eyes?
Yeah, we get a little bit of information, and we also a little bit of world building, and we also learn a little bit more about Althea. So it's a little bit of everything. So pretty cool.
Yep.
So all in all, I'm really happy with how this first episode is turning out. I want to quickly segue over here. Okay, I swapped the view over here. Now, what you're going to see is the document that Matt, Brett, and I are working on, and the working title of the audio cast, and we'll get more into that in the community section that's coming up shortly. But the working title is Narratus Mythologica, being a chronicle of the tales, legends, and events of the Mythoverse. And this document has the entire first episode so far, and we'll be able to get a little bit more into that once it's complete. Now, if you are a member of the Patreon for $1 a month, you've already had a chance to listen to a preview. There's about just under 7 minutes of audio up there on the Patreon. And if you're interested in getting a quick sneak peek of what we have in store for you in terms of that, it's $1 a month, folks. Check it out. In addition to that, you've also already seen the next Mythochibis comic. So that's up there too. So if you want an early access to all that extra content, yeah, help us out there. It's $1 a month. That's all. Very cheap. Same thing over at the Subscribestar. It's essentially a mirror of the Patreon, except it is on Subscribestar for those who choose not to do business with Patreon, understandably so, for whatever reason. So if you were to donate either $1 on the Patreon or the Subscribestar, you are helping us produce all this extra content. Like here I put up the latest Mythochibis. Well, not the latest. This is last week's. Where Maeve strikes up a unholy alliance with the cat spirit to steal milk and juice, much to Adobe's chagrin.
Oh God, there was an Easter egg that flew over everybody's heads on Twitter. I had to. I know Raven knows it. Though.
Do you want to spoil it here on stream now, or do you want to let everyone try to figure it out?
I already spoiled it on Twitter. Why not?
All right,
Raven knows what I'm talking. Raven knows not. Well, both Raven and Matt actually know it, but I want to hear it from Raven.
Oh gosh. Okay. So this goes back to Blossom, fantastic streamer. She plays a lot of Dark Souls, and in it you have a vial that refills for health. So she does this thing where she yells, "I need juice" all the time, and that's hinted at in the page.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah,
Yep.
you can look forward to a lot of these little Easter eggs. We're doing our best to stick them in, and those that are in the know or pay attention should be able to pick up on a lot of it.
I think Blossom had you make a T-shirt out of that, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah, she did. It was pretty cool.
Nice. So the Mythochibi strip is over at mythoversecomics.com. And if you were to go to the website, you can see all the past comics here. So I think we're on, this next one will be the 15th one. Wow, already 15. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our artist, Antonella, will be benefiting directly from any support we receive on the Patreon or the Subscribestar. All the funds we get from there go straight back to her or to these incredible voice actors that we're employing for the audiocast. So if you're interested in helping us get these out faster, by all means, please hit us up. So, let me see. So before we go into our own project updates, let's segue over into our community updates segment. So the very first thing we'd like to do there is, Brett, would you mind please announcing the winner of the Me6 contest?
Oh, crap, right. Okay, all right, let me pull that up. Shoot, I forgot to have everyone pull up the rank card. Although I do know, I'm going to double check just to...
You had one damn job, Brett.
Jeez.
I had a dentist appointment. I had a lot of shit to keep track of. But yeah, today's winner's Dylan. I mean, this week's winner's Dylan. Dylan, can you pull up your rank card, Dylan?
My rank card?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Oh, damn it. Okay. Here we go.
All right, good. There we are. I'll open that up and yeah, I'll open that up and put it in the leaderboard. Shoot. Wait, and while I'm at it, I'll reset everybody's XP.
Nice. So congratulations, Dylan. You are the winner of this week's Me6
Well,
No Prize.
Not just that, he is the first to establish a streak.
Nice. Holy cow. Someone better put an end to this before he gets too cocky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's always cool. Yeah. For those that aren't familiar, the Me6 competition involves the Me6 bot on your Discord server keeps track of your number of posts and assigns experience points to you based on your frequency and volume of posts. And whoever ends up with the highest level before each Radio Mythoverse episode is the winner of the competition and thus gets shouted out and gets the no prize, which is literally nothing except congratulations, you posted a lot in our Discord. You're awesome. So there we go. So while Matt's getting that wrapped up, the next thing I want to talk about on our community docket is last week we announced an art challenge and posed it to all the incredible and talented artists in our community. And I would like to segue over to that right now. Okay, so first I'm going to put up an image that was the inspiration for the competition. This was a poster that was drawn for us by an incredible Italian artist named Leandro Seva for our campaign. So those that backed at a certain tier will receive a beautiful full-size poster print of this image of Adobe and Althea on the beach being interrupted by some off-screen nasty monster. And somehow Adobe yanked her swords out of her bikini top. Don't know how. I guess it's because they're enchanted. And Althea's winding up a spell. So what we decided to do here was say, hey, we'd like you guys to come up with your own rendition of a battle on the beach featuring one or more of the Mythoverse ladies. So with that in mind, we have, I believe, did we get another entry? Right now, I have 3 right now. I don't know if...
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I thought I could make...
Al,
All right, well, no worries. We're going to be doing one of these every week. So if you missed out this time around, there's next week. So, yeah. All right. So with that in mind, let us begin. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the first one that we received.
That was Dylan's, wasn't it?
Yep. The first one we received was Dylan's, and here it is. So what we have here is the 3 Mythoverse ladies leaping through the air, and there's a beach ball. They were presumably interrupted while enjoying themselves on the beach by this. Well, my wife thought it was a gigantic breast, so I thought.
Okay. I thought it was too.
But and she said that's pretty cool. It's a cool way to get interrupted.
Yeah, if you look around them, like the water's like up in the air too, because like the things like rising out of the water. And...
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks like they were in the middle of doing something and it just came right out from underneath them, and they're being knocked off their feet. And they seem to be enjoying themselves because it's a giant booby. No, it's an eyeball. It's an eyeball, right?
I was pretty sure it was a giant eye. That's at least what I wanted to think it was.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an eye, but it's fun to
I
imagine.
immediately assumed that it was a giant titty.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it fits the theme. And I really like Maeve's rash guard, I guess, or T-shirt with her kitty pattern and her little one piece underneath there. Yeah. And Adobe's got her legendary abs, of course, with her bikini, and Is Althea even wearing a bottom? I mean, it's hard to tell.
I can see a bottom, but I'm not sure about a back.
Yeah. Well, she has...
Yes.
Look, it's the
It's a perspective.
Yeah, it's on the perspective, okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then Gorgonite sums it up perfectly. Beach vacation interrupted by Cthulhu titties. Yeah, I mean, there you go.
I mean, I think we'd all agree, though. I mean, like, one piece with a t-shirt over it, that is what Maeve would wear at the beach.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously a lot older than my 8-year-old daughter, but my 8-year-old daughter always wears a rash guard and a little skirt combination. So
yeah, it's just.
I should have drawn like a pool, like a pool floaty.
But aside from the enormous titty, this is really cool because they're all in media res. It's in the middle of them being launched in the air, and their hair is all over the place. And you get a nice sense of motion from this picture. That's pretty cool, man. So great job, Dylan, on this one. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the next one. Okay, the next one. That was
2 giant titties.
Yeah, the next one we got was from Blind Artist, whom we all love.
It was by Eric.
Yep. And this one takes a slightly different approach. It's also in the middle of the action, and we see a slightly older Maeve, I assume, from behind.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, she's pretty well developed, so maybe she's a little bit older. I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask him. But
Awesome.
It looks like Maeve's on the beach, and there's some kind of eldritch sea monster with a sword that was coming at her, and she just let loose with a banshee scream, and he's like, "Get me out of here!" So.
But the only thing it's good. It's good, but the only thing I can say he got wrong about it was how Maeve's scream works. This looks like the X-Men Banshee scream,
or the Mythochibi scream, where it just messes shit up.
Yeah, I will cut him some slack because I don't think I ever told him how it works. And he's probably only had the Mythochibi's strip to go off of. So then if people don't know, Maeve's scream, it's not like Banshee's, the X-Men Banshee. It's not like a supersonic scream or anything. It's a scream that just paralyzes you with dread. Like you just hear it and you're just overcome with fear and you just can't. You're just completely paralyzed.
It sounds like the Redeath from Legend of Zelda. That's what I think.
Well, it looks like, to be fair, this scream is combining both aspects here. It's obviously causing a lot of havoc, and the guy looks like he's pretty afraid of what's going on. Or he's just covering his ears, if he has ears, in fact.
All I'll say is, like I said, if he was basing it off the Mythochibi strip, I'll cut him some slack there because to be fair, that's the only version people have seen so far.
Yeah, and I honestly hope that this is an 18 or older Maeve because Maeve got back, baby.
God damn, I would.
She is thick as hell, man.
FBI, open up.
Stop. You are making shit weird now, Dan.
Well, look, okay, she's 18. I am ruling she's 18 in this picture.
FBI, open up.
The editor-in-chief has spoken.
Yeah.
Gorgon Necessary says, "Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that Maeve's power isn't essentially a high-pitched reeing?"
Well, Maeve is sort of on the spectrum, I guess. You could say it's autistic screeching.
A high-pitched autistic meltdown.
Yeah.
Her day at the beach got ruined. She's pissed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Somebody stole her toy train.
Yeah. So this 18-year-old legal age Maeve is shouting at this sea monster, and I like the water effects. I mean, he's obviously got some cool like brush effects going there, and you get a good sense of the force behind Maeve's scream. So I like this one a lot. Great job. All right, So now is the last one, which came to us from Dr. Zoo. I'm just going by the Discord usernames. So
I think I forgot.
Dr. Zuzu, Pat.
I know his last name, but it's Russian and I can't pronounce it.
okay,
I'm Russian.
I'll just go by the handle. So anyway, this one is amazing. Not only is it like technically very, very excellent, but the artist manages to capture like just a tiny little bit of each character's essence in this picture. What we have here is the girls on the beach, and there's looks like a Tremors monster coming out of the ground. A Tremors monster with a predator face. There you go.
Or a Dune sandworm.
Yeah, you could say it's a Dune sandworm, but it has eyes and a nose. But anyway, so yeah, what we have here is we have Maeve, who is, you see, she's got a little shovel and pail because she's a kid and she's playing in the sand. So that evokes her youthful innocence there. And
she has a very flattering two-piece.
Yeah. And then Adobe is just charging at the monster because that's what she does. She's the lifeguard, which is appropriate because paladins are defenders. And
I think the best part of this is, I swear to, if he doesn't have the audiobook, you would have. If he does not have the audiobook, I'll be surprised because this is a very Adobe thing to do.
Yes. Yeah, she just charges in and hits it with everything she has. She's a very
with whatever she's got on hand, which in this case is a life preserver.
Yes. And in the book, she does have to improvise quite a bit with her weaponry because she is separated from her gear for most of the book.
The most famous moment being that night she was soaked in the rain with nothing but her panties and a t-shirt on, and the only thing she had on hand was her banjo.
Yeah, she had to bless her banjo and use it like a warhammer. That was fantastic. I still love that scene. I think that was one of the first scenes I wrote. The book took book took years to write, but that was one of the first action scenes I completed. Was that battle?
And like I said, if that was not inspired by that moment, I will legitimately be shocked. If he came up with this,
well, to be honest, that is a very Adobe thing to do. Anyway,
I know, but it's just like that's. Can you look at that with a straight face and tell me you do not see the banjo moment in that?
Yes, I cannot. Because Adobe would, for some reason, think it would be a good idea to consecrate a mundane object like her little lifeguard floaty and hit a big monster with it, because why not? It's within reach, it's handy, and it's all she has.
And then there's Althea, who is just... she just lets Adobe handle it.
Well, the thing is, first of all, Gorgonite says Banjo Warhammer merchandise when, don't give me any ideas. I do have
you could make a statue of Troy's take on that moment.
Yes. Well, I do have a brand new 3D printer that I'm going to bust out after I get back from my vacation week after next. So who knows?
We just need to get someone to 3D model that.
Yeah, I have a lot of great plans for that printer. So, yeah, as Matt was saying, Althea is the brains of the operation. So I can see her saying, okay, look, Adobe smash. I'm going to finish my chapter. Thank you.
I love how she's completely unconcerned.
Yeah, because, Adobe will take care of it. She always does. Just don't spill my drink, please. And when you're done, can you please get me a refill? Yeah. So she's looking pretty good in that bikini. She's got that classic sun hat on, and she's got her legendary washboard stomach that Adobe can't stop bringing up.
To be fair, between the three, Althea's the most ladylike.
I think she just wears a bikini just to rub it in.
Yeah, look at my washboard stomach. But anyway, yeah, I love this piece. I love the fact that again, just like the other one, we're in the middle of the action. The worm creature has just burst out of the sand, and you can see like the force of it surfacing there. And Maeve looks like, oh no, save me. Adobe's diving on it, and Althea is completely unconcerned, finishing up her book. So, what do you guys think? It
looks like an actual alternate cover. Like,
this could be an alternate cover.
This is professional level work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This really is. Like, I'm thinking actually that might not be a bad idea, using this for an alternate cover. So I'm going to go ahead and put them side by side here so we can see all of them.
Yeah. Consider we are going to be considering we are going to be launching an Indiegogo for those who missed out on the Kickstarter, this would actually be a good perk.
Yeah. We'll talk to him and see if he's cool with that. But in the meantime, here's all 3 of the entries we got for the Beach Battle art challenge. So, what does everyone think? I mean, I think between Matt, Brett, and I, we do have a clear favorite here, and that would be Dr. Zeus. But they're all great in their own way. They each tackle the problem in a different way, and they're all very appealing. And they all showcase like a lot of the artist's chops. So it's hard for me to say like this is better than that, but I just absolutely love Dr. Zeus there.
Yeah, I saw his and I'm like, damn it, he's good.
He's very good. He's very, very good. So I'm thinking that is the winner of this week's challenge. So
I'd vote for him.
No, I think we could at least show off Alabasters. I mean, I know it's not finished, but
Oh yeah,
I thought
where is it?
Yeah, we said.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it in the fan art gallery?
Yeah, I'd show it off. I mean, I know it's.
I didn't even know that was there. I'm sorry. Let me grab this.
I know it's not finished, but you know what? I think it had a solid concept behind it. I think people should see it.
Yeah, I like this.
Oh, yeah.
I like this a lot. Just give me a second. I'll have it up. I'm just importing into OBS so I can just align it alongside there. So give me one last moment here. There we go.
She's beating it with a seashell.
Oh wow, that is hilarious. I didn't even notice the seashell until I enlarged it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. He said Maeve's weapon was a conch shell.
Sounds like someone's been right from Adobe.
That episode of SpongeBob.
Well, the idea was that they gotten interrupted, and everybody was like, "Oh, let's save Maeve," and she's just so pissed off at this thing. And I wanted to. I drew it the way I did because I wanted to give the impression that, yeah, it's this ugly, horrendous creature. Did it do anything wrong?
It looks like it's just a little bit confused.
It is kind of scary.
It's like a Pokemon monster, Alabaster.
Yeah, the stubby little arms. It's kind of cute.
It is cute.
I was kind of going for like a cross between Godzilla and creature from the Black Lagoon. with just a dash of shadow over it.
I'm just gonna say, you were going for Godzilla and creature from Black Lagoon, and you somehow landed on Pokemon, which makes that awesome.
Maybe Maeve isn't beating the creature with the conch shell. Maybe she's riding it as like, haha, this is my steed. And that's why Alfie is confused.
Maybe she used the conch to call the monster. Like in Lord of the Flies. She just blew into the conch.
I was thinking more about the conch signal. And then for like all of their costumes, I tried to keep it kind of close to the original art. Is just maybe the idea that Adobe was wearing one of those little side tie things because Althea talked her into it, and Maeve, that thing you wear. I don't know what it is, if it's like a shirt or something, but like it became a trend, I think 10, 15 years ago.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the proper name of it either.
I'm looking it up. I think it's called. I'm looking it up. I think it might be okay. I type in beach sash, and what I get is a dress.
And then Maeve, I figured, at least the impression I get is she might be a bit of a weeb. So if she kind of managed
a little bit. Have you watched her Twitter feed? I mean, it's all about Pokemon and anyway. Yeah, nice.
Pokemon.
So for her swimsuit, she'd have like a reproduction or like an imported like schoolgirl one piece that they used for gym class or whatever.
Yeah,
like she managed to get her hands on one of those somehow, only to wear a t-shirt.
Pokemon, My Little Pony, and currently Banicula.
Yeah, Alabaster, this is really cool. I like what you got going on here. I like the flow of the action. I like how your eye is sort of drawn from Maeve, back to Adobe, to Althea, and then the wave kind of whips you back to where you started from. So there's a great sense of action here. Good composition. I love Althea's fighting pose, and looks like she's confused. It looks like a question mark over her head there.
Yeah, Adobe's got the Metal Gear Solid.
And Maeve actually, and I think I made that layer transparent, or just straight up invisible. But Maeve was gonna have like one of those angry little red marks that they have in anime, where it was meant to like be a vein.
Oh, nice.
Dude. Okay, like I said, I know this is unfinished, but I want to see it finished. Please finish it.
Yeah.
I will.
If I have to toss you a tip to finish this, please. I want to see this done. Anyway, so with all that said, this is an excellent piece, but it is technically unfinished, but I still love it. With all that said, what do you guys think? To whom should the spells go?
If somebody doesn't draw the magic conch shell scene from SpongeBob, but with the main three girls, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay, but it's no argument though. Zoo won, and yes, Neostar Maeve, Maeve is now a Bunnicula fan because she had to find something to fill the void because My Little Pony was ending.
Nothing can fill that void, and nothing ever will.
But Bunnicula's really picked up. It started out kind of rough, very formulaic, but it started showing that it could break its mold and actually show some decent storytelling chops.
Nerd.
I'll have to check it out.
And fuck, the last episode, Bunnicula's secret was blown to Mina. She now knows her pet bunny is a vampire.
Neostar says, sorry I didn't have any time to submit anything for the contest. Don't worry about it, man. We got plenty more of these where that came from. And we're just really glad that you were interested in participating.
So I get the Dr. Zoo won this week's. I'll put his entry in the leaderboard for that. I set up a separate channel for this.
Cool.
Okay. And in case anyone wants to know, next week's theme is summer camp.
Woo! Summer camp, yeah. So
I just have to finish this one and do another one. Got it.
Yeah.
If the theme is summer camp, does that mean that we could see Jason Voorhees chasing these girls around a little bit?
Yes.
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
That's perfect.
Is there going to be anything underage going on?
Or actually, a better thing would have Adobe chasing Jason Voorhees around.
Yeah, there you go. You're like, no.
But Jason only comes in when there's
teenagers
having sex.
I can actually see a little comic strip where it's like Jason Voorhees chases Althea and Maeve into a cabin, and then the next panel is Adobe chasing Jason out.
Nice. All right, so there's that. Congratulations on that. Real quick, before we segue over into talking about something that I meant to speak about last week, but technical difficulties prevented that. Just going to go over real quick about some of the pieces that were in Artist Alley that were unrelated to the contest, but were just really cool to look at anyway. One of the things that's so exciting about this community is like how many of these great artists we have. Like this one is one of my favorites. Carl the Amateur did this great rendition of Samus Aran in his style, and what I really like about this is that she looks badass, yet she's also adorable. Like, she's pigeon-toed, she's got like the big thick thighs there and the cute little face, but she's still got the arm cannon and the armor and all that. And Carl's really loading up the channel with some great stuff. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm really impressed with what the versatility he's showing here and subject matter and all that. So very prolific. And again, I don't know what his situation is in terms of any projects he's working on, other than what he's posting here. But if he doesn't have a script, any of you guys have one, yeah, get with him and get something made, please. Okay, Alabaster had to step off because his parents wanted to chat, but this was one of his pieces, and I think this is great. It's very vibrant, and it has these two characters escaping from a giant bird, and it's just a great overhead perspective shot. Great use of texture and lighting and expressions on the characters there, and you can definitely tell that these are two different personalities, very different personalities. So very cool. Great job, Alabaster, on that one. Here's another one from Dylan. Okay, and this is a Team Urameshi reunion, as he said in the channel. And,
yeah, this old idea I had where it's like them, but like nowadays, because like years later, you know, like the way I imagine like Yusuke would be like a dad who's like trying his best, but he just kind of sucks at it.
Well, at least he does a slightly better job than Goku.
Oh my.
It's hard not to. I mean, that's an absentee dad right there.
I'm about the only. I'm noticing that this might just maybe it's just me, but it looks like Kurama and Hiei haven't changed all that much.
Yeah, they really wouldn't. I don't really think they would. I mean, honestly. I mean, for Kurama's face, I made it resemble more of a Yoko Kurama, you know, with the smaller eyes, but that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
And for Hiei, I wouldn't really imagine he would change all that much, maybe except for like his hair, maybe, I don't know. But he's had like that hair since he was born, so.
Yeah. Bara doesn't look all that different either.
He's the same, he just has a mustache now.
You're a Messi. Oh yeah, I see it.
Nice.
You're a Messi, look at my mustache.
Nice. So here's another one here. Stephen Kirkpatrick. Looks great. I love this style. It's very, very simple yet innocent and fun. And I like the aesthetic here.
Reminds me of old school Butch Hartman a little bit.
Yeah. So let me go over to the next one. This is one by Blind Artist. Now, what he did was he took everything except for the logo, he said, was all him, and he photoshopped the logo in. For those who haven't played the game, it's a fun game, and he did a really good job here with this one. I like the explosions. It's pretty stylized, and like the laser beams are all in the correct perspective. You get a real sense of the flow of action there. So good job, Blind Artist. Absolutely, Neostar. I like the look of that drawing, so I want to make sure that I had a chance to share it. Okay.
Oh, before we go any further, something I think we'd be remiss to mention is that we picked up a few extra people on the Mythoverse staff over the past week.
I'm now showing one of them.
Yes, this was done by Twitter artist Moe Prosciutto. Moe P. Both are. We just know her as Moe. She recently joined the Discord, and what we have commissioned her for is to design some exclusive merch. In which case, these will be mobile wallpapers, that we will be giving away as a perk for the Indiegogo.
Yes, and she sketched all of these out in one single day within a few hours of each other. So she works really fast, and she follows instructions very well, and she's got a great style. That's very, very appealing to look at. So I can't wait to see these finished.
One thing I gotta say is that she really captured each of the characters really well.
Yeah. I like that. Maeve's got her hoodie on, and she's winking at you because she's a teenager. Althea looks like she's obviously getting the better of you, like she knows something you don't. And Adobe's just brandishing her weapons because that's what she does. That's what she's good at. So really looking forward to seeing these done and hopefully more. Yeah. And last but not least, give a second for the stream to catch up. Our good friend Troy, known as Mr. Marvel, posted a good deal of artwork in the Discord, but this is the one I wanted to show off first. This was his adaptation that was inspired by the Changeling cover. This is a slightly older Maeve, I imagine.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a callback to the first Changeling cover where she's looking at a reflection of herself. She's shattered, and certain fragments of the mirror show her human self, and certain fragments of the mirror show her banshee self. So it's symbolic.
I need this as a poster for my wall.
Well, I don't think he would object. Maybe we...
Yeah, but the other thing... But yeah, it's great that we get... In fact, Troy's actually going to be contributing a book to the Mythoverse. In today's creators meeting, we kind of determined that it would, and Troy agreed with us that it was best for him if he came in during our phase 3 due to how much work he has already.
Yeah, he's got a full plate. I mean, I assume he's still. I think he's still illustrating Charger, correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, he is. He's still working on Charger. He's still working on Wanpole. He's working on that other. But was it the Offspring? I forget what it was called.
But yeah, that's another one of his own IPs.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, like, yeah, the dude is just. Yeah, the fact that he's got any time to develop a Mythoverse book at all is amazing. So yeah, he's going to be coming in on Mythoverse Phase 3, which just suits his schedule just better. And I think I prefer if Troy talked about this, but without going into detail, what the kind of book he is bringing to the table is, it's very much in the vein of Witchblade. Cheesecake, but it has a plot.
Nice. Well, if I know Troy, it'll be a hell of a lot of fun, because the only book that I've had a chance to read, obviously, is the one he made available, is Wanpool #1. But I loved it, and I can't wait to see what he does. So, okay.
And in fact, while we're on that, the subject of further Mythoverse books, I would say effective immediately. It's best we place a cap on any new admissions, just because we do not want to overwhelm ourselves at this point.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we have this planned out for several years in advance at this point. So we just got to make sure that our phase 1 has a nice strong launch so that we can support the phase 2 and the phase 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Phase 2, we're going to be adding 5 new titles, and after that, we'll probably look and see how open we are to more submissions for phase 3.
Yep. Neostar says Troy never fails to impress. I'm sure it'll be a dope read. Couldn't agree more. I love his work, and he's a hell of a great guy. He's a straight shooter. He's honest when he needs to be. And
yep. Last thing I want to touch on, and it's the other member, the newest one of the new members to the Mythoverse staff, and that's Xenolith.
Oh yes. I do not have any of his images saved and available to share. Do you want to share the work in progress? You want to wait until that's done?
I don't think you'll mind if we just show the work in progress. So it's in concept art, Dan.
All right, 1 second.
Okay, so for everyone else listening, what we did was that months ago, Matt and I sat down and we just basically came up with a bunch of background lore for the Mythoverse, and what we decided. And then we were working out the Mythoverse's version of Hell, and we decided that instead of having it be ruled by Satan, it would be ruled by 7 demon lords who represent the 7 deadly sins. And we decided we'd go our own direction with that, because we didn't want to copy we didn't exactly want to copy the 7 classic demon lords, so to speak, because if you look up that up, you'll find out that you got Satan, who's like the demon of wrath, and Lucifer, who's the demon of pride, and it gets very confusing, especially when some people sort of use Lucifer and Satan ubiquitously. Mm-hmm. We just decided to make our own, and we gave the job of designing them to Xenolith, who is my colorist Ginger Foxy's boyfriend. He's got a real acumen for making things that are just grotesque and horrifying.
If you need any proof to that assertion, let's look on the screen right now.
Yeah, this is Euronymous, who is the demon lord of gluttony. Like I said, this is still a work in progress, but you can just see like he's just bloated. He's morbidly obese. He's probably got pustules and shit all over his body, and
he ate so much he exploded, and he keeps eating.
Yeah, and in fact, like Zeno told me that he plans on like adding bits of half-digested food to show that it's spilling out of that hole in his side, just to explain away why he's always constantly hungry.
Yeah, and to scale, that's a human figure next to him, obviously.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like he's just this gross. He's just this gross or this horrific bloated monster, and Zeno was the perfect one to do this. And yeah, without going and I think I should probably be transparent on this part. We gave him full reign to go completely NSFW.
Yeah, this is definitely Mythoverse After Dark. Neostar says that's certainly grotesque and horrifying. You nailed it. That was exactly what we were going for with this character.
Oh, he's nailed. Well, he definitely will nail it because, like I said, this is still just a work in progress.
Yep, and in case it isn't clear, he is eating a whole cow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like a fish skeleton or something. I wasn't looking closely.
Yeah, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that it is a cow. All right, so awesome. Okay, so that's that. Now, really quick before we go into our special guest, who's been patiently waiting for us to talk about what she came here to talk about. So thank you for waiting. We have one last thing I want to talk about. Last week, I intended to shout out one of our members in the Discord who posted in our Writer's Block channel that he has a novel it's available for pre-order now on Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and place it on the screen right now. It is called The Crimson Spark. The author is William Hastings. Now, this is going to be available for pre-order, I believe, on October the 11th. Let me verify that. Yep, you can pre-order it with one click on October the 11th for $3. And it is a short story that I'll just quickly go over the summary here. Leo is a boy grieving his twin. Nia is a girl living as a boy to escape her past. Two slaves, both of whom carry the scars of abuse. They form a connection, only to be split apart when their ship arrives in the Kennigan Archipelago, a mysterious and fragmented land cut off from the rest of the world. So just looking at this cover here, you can see that these are two young characters that form a bond in the fires of danger, and it looks like a pretty interesting read. So I've already pre-ordered it. It's going to be downloaded to my Kindle when it comes out. So help out this brother in the community, and why not pre-order the book? And when you get it, make sure you rate and review it. So we definitely want to help the people that help us out. So check this book out.
Will does great work too. Just a quick note, phenomenal work.
I know he does, and that's why I'm excited for this. So, all right. With all that said, let me go over here and let us get to our guest.
Yes, Raven. Floor is now yours.
Raven.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry it took a while to get there, but we just had so many interesting things to talk about. But I now have your work on screen, and this is page 1 of Machi the Lazy Witch, I believe is what it's called.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, well, floor is yours. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Really excited to be here. Second of all, as a Mythoverse backer, I'm 100% more content to hear everything. I want to be just as caught up as the next person. So super quick about my upcoming comic, Machi the Lazy Witch. Machi's been in the works for about 2 years now. I worked as a manager of a business development center for a while, and she was my passion project on the back burner. And last year, I decided to go, cut it all, just do away with the office life and pursue art full time. So Machi is a really big deal to me. So super quick about Machi. It's basically Harry Potter meets art college meets slice of life. So if you enjoy magic, tomfoolery, and brightly colored pages, I think Machi will be for you. It's in English and also being translated into Spanish, and I'll be uploading more pages next Monday. So I'll be launching October 1st, and I hope you look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll through it real quick. So yeah, here on webtoons.com, if you search for Machi the Lazy Witch, you can find it. And on the main page, you have the option of either going into Machi in Spanish or in English. So I'm going to go into the English one here. And look at this. Look at this artwork. Look how much character this has. I mean, the architecture looks like it's straight out of a children's book. And did you ever read that comic Akiko?
I don't think I'm familiar with it, no.
Oh, it's an all-ages comic that was pretty popular in the late 90s. And it followed a young girl, and the aesthetic was very similar to this, where it looked like it was straight out of a children's fantasy novel. Like you had all these adorable little huts here, and the puffs of smoke, and the cartoonish moon. Everything had a lot of character in it.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd like it. I think you'd really like it. So I'm sorry. When does this update again?
I'll be uploading the remaining 6 pages of the teaser for book 1 next Monday.
Monday. Okay, folks. So webtoons.com. Look for Machi the Lazy Witch and make sure you bookmark this. So tell us a little bit more about what your plans are for this property long term. Like you're launching your Kickstarter in October, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
So my plan is to launch in October. If all goes well, I plan on approaching publishers. I work as, funny enough, I go from business to doing art, back to business. So I'm doing some admin things for a group called Offshoot Comics, and they work hand in hand with Starburns, the guys who made the Rick and Morty comics.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to be the first that I pitch Machi to and hopefully get picked up by. Fingers crossed, you know. But if I can get in with them, I know they have a lot of great connections to like places like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and a lot of animation studios. So long-term goal would be to have Machi as a cartoon for children to young adults. So it's a pretty broad range. So yeah, that's the big goal.
That is exciting. Now, do you have any other means that we can support your work aside from that? Do you have a Patreon? Do you have a tip jar anywhere?
I do have a Patreon. All of the Machi pages are available as soon as they're finished up onto the Patreon. It would be under the name Fairy Art Mother. So instead of Fairy God, Fairy Art. So Fairy Art Mother. Yeah, that's me. I upload chibi bases that can be used royalty free by anyone for any projects. I'll be doing some tutorial videos here soon. I also make monthly sticker packs with different themes. So there's a whole lot to get. So I'd appreciate any support at all.
Yeah, I have your Patreon up right now. So real quick, I'm going to go over the tiers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a $1 tier here, which is the health potion tier. So if you were to donate $1, you get, in the event of a scrape, I gift you a health potion. That's right. Not only can you help support my art channel, you'll get your HP restored as well. Now, that's always useful. I always need to have my HP restored at the end of a hard day. So I think that's a very good deal. It's practically a steal. So for $4, you get the spell potion. So you get all previous rewards. That means I get my HP restored?
Yes.
Oh, so I get my HP restored. Okay, that's great. And then I also get access to the slower fan art speed paint videos. So are those time-lapse videos of your production?
Yes.
Okay, I always love those. I love those. Do they have like a commentary over them too, or are you just a...
At the moment, the ones that I have made, they don't have commentary over them, but I'm getting a better video editing software here soon, so they will.
Nice. Yeah, I love seeing it. You'll get a set of 5 high-resolution based chibi photos that you can use in your own artwork. Wow, so you can like take this work that you get and then just reuse them as you see fit. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice. That's very generous for only $4 a month. Wow, it's a steal. Legendary Potion is the next one. That's $9 or more per month, and you get everything. That means your HP is restored. You get the time lapse videos. You get the chibis, and you get access to a monthly live stream. So your fans get to chat with you while you draw.
Yep. Any questions or I'm trying to set up a Minecraft streamer, so if anyone's interested in playing games together, we could do that too.
Nice. Okay, so then you get a monthly art challenge. That's cool. So you basically set a challenge for them, or?
Yep. Anyone who's interested, I take a poll beforehand to see if anyone's going to be able to participate. I don't want to make anyone feel pressured or anything. So I take a poll beforehand, and we kind of agree on the theme together.
Cool. All right. That's a good way to build your community up. Get everyone working together. And then you also get a printable poster of the Coffee and Critters weekly recap. Nice. So what is the Coffee and Critters weekly recap?
So Coffee and Critters, I'll be starting that up again on Monday. So again, exciting. Basically, each day throughout the week, we draw one creature. I start with kind of a general idea, maybe like a lemon cat or something, and I combine the two of them. And then people in the morning chat, they'll make suggestions, we'll make edits, we'll make it all crazy and wacky. And by the end of the week, we have 5 fun different characters that I put on a printable poster.
That's really fun. I mean, I assume, yeah. I love your style too. I love the design of this character. It almost looks like she has a pumpkin in her hair. That's really cute.
That's the point.
Yeah. Well, it does. It is adorable, and I love that you use the zipatone texture, I guess you would call that, in the background there. Very cool.
Thank you.
All right. There's so much to like about this. It's so appealing. And the top tier is the early secret stash. And a monthly sticker pack includes 6 unique stickers in addition to everything else. So yeah, there are a lot of options here on your Patreon, and a lot of cool rewards and a lot of opportunity to get to know you as a creator and to challenge yourself as an artist with the monthly challenges. So all in all, a very nice package.
Thank you.
Okay, and it looks like you got 8 patrons, and you're already you're almost at your first goal of $100 per month. And if you reach your $100 per month, you get, I'd like to provide you with a 5-page Coffee and Critters based comic once per month. Nice. Okay, well, I'm excited. I hope you get all the success that you're after, especially with your long-term plans. I would love to see your work animated on Nickelodeon. We definitely could use some quality work there. And who knows? If you get there with the next couple of years, maybe my daughter will be a fan. She's already a fan of Changeling, so she still loves her hoodie very much, Brett. So
yeah, well, does she know that Raven plans to cosplay as Maeve?
No,
I very truly do.
No, but when you do accomplish that, make sure you send us a photo so I can send it to her and she can enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a goal that I get a con photo with Raven doing that.
Very, very awesome. So, everyone, keep an eye on Machi the Lazy Witch. Please check out her Patreon, and please keep an eye out for her Kickstarter campaign, and offer this talented young artist all the support she deserves for her future plans. So, we really want to see her accomplish what she's after.
Thank you for your support.
Absolutely. All right, so with all that said, just one last thing before we get into our project updates, because we're just wrapped up our first hour. I mentioned that I was going to revisit our audio cast. The reason I wanted to do so is right now it has a working title of Narratus Mythologica. However, what we'd like to do is open this up to the community and have someone in the community name the audio cast for us. And if the name that you can come up with is chosen for the audio cast, then you will be inserted into future episodes as a character, possibly as a recurring one. So if you're interested, let's hear what you got. Now, for inspiration, the story just basically is what it says here, being a chronicle of the tales, legends, and events of the Mythoverse, and anything goes. So make sure it's like a nice, broad, all-encompassing name. So let us know if you can come up with anything. You can hit us up in the Discord with any suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that. That's all I really wanted to discuss. Let's really quickly, before I fire up a game, are there any new updates for the 3 main Mythoverse Phase 1 projects, fellas?
I've been getting more pages in from Victor, so that's good. Let's see where I'm up to right now. I'm currently up to page 8.
Currently up to, that's inked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Matt, I saw recently in Mythic's Sketches, the channel in the Discord, that it is we basically got an avalanche of updates from Beth. I think it was like 15, 16, 17 pages of sketches. That woman is insane how fast she churned those out. Have you gotten any further updates from the sketches? Any finished pages?
Oh God,
Matt, you had one job.
Oh, yeah, it's about 15 pages done, and it should be done well before September.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the Discord, check out Mythic's Sketches, that channel in the Mythic section, and you'll see all of Beth's recently submitted sketches. And I think it's fairly safe to look at those pages without worrying about spoilers because, they're sketches. They're not that fully fleshed out. There's no dialogue on it. So just go there and admire Beth's work without having
to... Also, Discord, when I mass uploaded, it's all out of order, so don't have to worry.
Oh, they're all out of order? Okay, I did not know that.
I was also going to say, several of them also seem like they're presented out of context, so it's not like you really have to worry that much.
Okay. So, yeah, don't concern yourself with spoilers. Just go there and admire Beth's work. Like I said, she is a very strong gesture artist. Like, there's always a good sense of motion and energy in her work. And that really shows even in these early stages. Like, you really get a sense like she's really got a grasp and control of perspective, motion, movement, and anatomy. All right, so I'm feeling a little bit burned after last week. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to fire up a game that's kind of relaxing and zen for me. I'm going to play a little bit of Super Hot. Okay. Have you played Super Hot?
I know Super Hot.
All right, cool. I'm going to play Super Hot. I don't know why. I just felt like playing it tonight. So give me a second to get that booted up. All right. There we go. All right. So don't mind me. I'm going to go into my little Zen garden here.
So I guess this is the part where we're all of us just talk amongst ourselves. And
yeah.
My hands are still shaking from after all that drawing.
I can imagine.
No, my heart was racing for like a good 10 minutes afterward.
It's all good, dude. Chad, Hey, Chad, you missed out on last week, so what have you been up to?
So honestly, some of the stuff like I kind of can't talk about just because there is like a lot of context missing. Even if I try to explain it, there's like the best way to describe it is I am under threat of death from one of my best friends. Legitimate threat of death if I talk about it. But needless to say,
who cares? I want to know what it is.
Well, I can give you the Sparks Note version. I went to the bar, being dragged by my friend to a place that I've never been to, and I was forced to sit there for 8 hours while they worked. So I got drunk for about 4 hours, turned incredibly flamboyant. It was wonderful. And had one of the best burgers I've actually ever had in my life. Aside from that, it's just been getting ready to move. And yeah, just getting ready to move. Honestly, I have had a lot of stuff in my life, and I've lived in the same house, in the same spot for, almost 20 years now. And I'm moving from a big house to a trailer, so it's a lot of compressing and throwing out things that I just don't need anymore.
It's always a good feeling.
I mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, like living minimalist. I mean, like there's not a lot of shit I own either. I mean, like, but if I had to nail it down, the 3 possessions I really need to keep on hand are my PC, my bed, and my van.
I'm not even keeping the bed. The bed I'm currently sleeping on is a piece of garbage, so I gotta end up replacing that. So that is one of my first and most exciting purchases that I'm going to be making once I end up moving. But honestly, like the hardest part about this is I love books. And I have like 3 boxes worth of books that I have to consider whether or not I'm going to be taking them with me. And
No.
I don't know if you guys would remember these, but do you guys remember Dragonland?
Yeah.
I never read it, but I know what it is.
I have a lot of old copies, like first or second edition of a lot of their books, you know, like Tale of Two Twins, you know, following the Majory brothers and, you know, stuff like that. And I've loved that series forever. So, like, I have, like, 2 full moving boxes full of those still at my house that, you know, I have to figure out, am I going to have space or not?
Did you ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure based on the twins?
No, I never got around to that. I could never find a copy.
Oh. As a fan, you would absolutely love it.
Honestly, I think out of all the stories that I've ever read, my favorite would have to be The Tales of Uncle Trap Springer.
Neostar says, man, having to choose between your books. Yeah, I feel that. That's why I got a Kindle. That way I just carry it all in my pocket.
Could you, do you have any friends or family that would be willing to hang on to their books for you?
You see, there's a funny thing about that. I had a really, like, good friend group. Probably people I could have left these books with last year. And then we kind of got into a giant fight, and, you know, it was move forward with my life or be tied down by a bunch of people who were honestly causing a lot of negative just stress in my life. Like, I was living literally week to week with $0 in my bank account by the end of the week while being friends with these people. And I couldn't do it after everything was all considered. I'm just, you know, I had to move forward and grow up. And that sucked, but, you know.
I feel you. When I was right out of high school, I moved into a house with, I think, 4 or 5 other of my friends. And that was a disaster. If you could picture the most slovenly bachelor pad imaginable, that was our house. Oh, God.
Yeah, that was not my experience, because when I first moved out of my house, I was living in a college dorm, and my roommate at the time, he sort of beat a lot of sense into me. So, yeah. And then after I moved out of the dorm, I moved into an apartment with my brother, and well, that was actually pretty good, to be honest. Now it's quiet again.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you keep inviting the spirit of dead air, and it's just rude to interrupt her.
We don't want our computer text.
Yeah, you saw what happened last week when we dared challenge the spirit of dead air.
It's too late, because every time that you guys lift up the podcast, Brett mentions that Vamp or Lenore are going to hex the server, and he jinxes it.
Yeah. Well, now you mentioned it, dumbass.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it before every podcast that it's going to get hexed.
Well, you saw what happened last week, right? Yeah. The podcast was literally murdered by the spirit of dead air.
Oh, God,
Yep.
yes.
Morgan, you were just channeling Nick Ricada.
You dummy. You big dummy.
Gorgonite now wants to know if it's a good time for his pitch. You know what? Might as well.
Is Gorgonite's book gonna have to be wrapped in a completely black bag?
Goodness gracious.
It may just have to be
discreet packaging.
Wait, I'm confused. What?
That's
Gorgonite apparently has a Mythoverse pitch.
Ah.
And I'm terrified.
Oh, come on. It can't possibly be that bad,
Dude,
should it?
At the risk of sounding like an ass, I'm assuming he's being facetious.
Dude, you got a submission from Troy. I'm pretty sure you can take anyone else.
Honestly, I have no clue what to expect with Gorgonite.
Probably. Gorgonite Emissary says probably. Don't mind the red fluid dripping from it.
Oh, God. Mercy.
Well, you know, worst comes to worst, I think I got a ShamWow somewhere in the house. You know, just in case. ShamWoohoo.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Real men use the Zorby.
No, Neo Star, the Wizard of Dead, the Spirit of Dead Air is never defeated. She just decides whether or not she's gonna screw with you that day. Okay, so what I'm pitching ties into the Adobe Kroger side of the Mythoverse. It's a character, an entire underworld subculture, a bit of Mythoverse, multiverse lore, and a story involving the Arthurian Holy Grail.
Okay, I'm listening.
Keep talking, Gorgonite. This is kind of cool. Underworld subculture. The multiverse lore is where. Multiverse lore is where I'm a little bit trepidatious.
It seems to be the big thing nowadays, though.
Yeah, like you kind of know. Do you guys have any idea? You know what? Do you guys have any idea like who kind of started the whole multiverse? Because I'll tell you what, it was not DC and it wasn't Marvel either. It was Elric.
Image?
It was Elric.
Elric?
Elric of Melna Bonet.
What a name.
It's a fantasy book series that was made by Michael Moorcock. It's credited with creating dark fantasy, and Michael Moorcock kind of also created the idea of the multiverse and the Eternal Champion. Basically, there's like all his different heroes and stories are sort of connected because they're different universes, and there's like this recurring theme of there always needing to be this Eternal Champion. For perspective, this was written back in the 60s.
You know, when you were saying that name the first time, I didn't know that you were going to keep going. I thought you just said that Michael Moore wrote it.
Yeah.
I was immediately curious what a comic book by Michael Moore would look like.
Well, no, it's not.
It would only be sold in thrift
every
stores.
issue would come with its own goiter.
Oh god.
Oh god. What? I never want to see what a Michael Moore comic looks like, but yeah, but no, the author behind Elric was Michael Moorcock. Also supposedly it might have, The Witcher might have plagiarized Elric, although that's never been confirmed.
Ooh.
They're different enough. I haven't played any of the Witcher games, and I haven't read the Michael Moorcock books. They seem different enough in the way they actually act, but they're not really the same character. But there's a lot of stuff you could list that, yeah, like if you were to describe it to someone who's never heard of either of them, yeah, it's definitely plagiarism.
Well, the Witcher series is a novel series first that was written in the 80s by a Polish author, so it could be that.
Is very, very salty about how successful the game.
Yep, and well, I have to say that there might be a language barrier, just a little bit of one, between Michael Moorcock and what?
So you're not convinced that the Elric novels were ever translated into Polish?
They probably were, but who knows how quickly they were translated. I mean, it took about 20 years for them to translate the Witcher series over here.
I'm not sure that's necessarily a fair comparison, though. Usually things, I would imagine things written in English tend to get translated more frequently than other cultures being translated to English. I don't know if that made any sense.
It kind of sort of depends on the IP, because like, yeah, you sort of have to, if you're going to translate it into another language, you have to ask yourself, is this going to sell in our market?
Well, another thing is that the Witcher series has enough difference that it's not. You can't really say that it was plagiarized.
They're very, very different franchises.
Yep.
Just as an example, like how many differences can you list up between Elric and Geralt? And let's not start with the fact that Elric's an emperor and Geralt isn't, because I do think like you can sort of turn that around, because Elric was the first Elric novels. They didn't introduce him as an emperor. He was a wandering sword for hire.
Well, for one thing, is the intent for the characters. Geralt is more of a caricature of Polish attitudes about politics, where it was, we don't care, kind of thing, kind of.
Elric doesn't really get himself involved in other people's problems unless it really involves them.
Yeah, well, with Geralt, it's because of the Polish attitudes, rather than. I really doubt he took that from Elric.
And maybe, I don't know. I mean, like, I will admit I haven't really read the Elric novel, so I can't comment on it.
It seems more like an aesthetic plagiarism of the look and feel of the character rather than anything else, honestly.
Either way,
I could be wrong. As far as I know, Geralt isn't like a what's the word I'm looking for? An allegory for a drug.
I don't think so either. I don't know enough about either to really comment on it. I've just heard the claim.
Oh, it's not. They never went to court over it, so.
Although I have heard that Andrei Sapkowski heard letters from Michael Moorcock's attorney. But then again, yeah, they did. There's been no court case. It's not like I guess for some perspective, like everyone knows Terminator, right? The first Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like sometime after its release, James Cameron ended up being taken to court by Harlan Ellison because it was proven that he plagiarized several Outer Limits episodes that Harlan Ellison wrote.
Go on.
Well, no, and that's why every release of the Terminator, in the credits, it gives a story credit to Harlan Ellison.
Well, it's not so much that they went in and gotten proof of it. It's more of James Cameron admitted it in an interview.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me switching up the conversation a little bit, because I am legitimately curious, thought about this a few times. Have you guys ever thought of what your procedure would be if you ever saw plagiarism from the Mythoverse? I'm not saying like one of your writers copying something, but I'm saying like someone outside of that copying anything that you guys work on.
I'm not sure. I don't think we've thought that far ahead. I mean, like, is it possible?
I have seen no copyright or trademarks or registered trademark symbols on anywhere on that webpage, and it had me super worried.
I don't know.
I wasn't trying to panic you. I just it's something that crossed my mind quite a few times.
Actually, Wicked
crossed my mind.
When we signed a contract to Wicked, they handled all the copyright stuff.
So I guess we.
Oh, okay, cool.
I guess the only problem is like if the thing with copyright is like if you take a person to court, it is inevitably going to be expensive.
Yep.
That's why you win, and make sure you get those damages.
Trust me, even if you win, it's expensive.
Tasty, tasty damages.
Hey guys, I gotta hop off of here, but thanks for having me. I look forward to next week's podcast.
Yeah, totally.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Raven.
Thank you, Raven.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too.
You as
Bye.
well.
Raven.
See ya.
Yeah. I would kind of hope that I would not have to deal with a copyright suit just because I'm not sure I'd have the money for it. Like, even if the evidence is on my side, it's just going to... I'd consider it a Pyrrhic victory at best.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is that as long as they don't try to say that we copied them, it's all good.
Well, if Wicked Publishing handles all the copyright stuff, would they handle any related cases then?
You mean
You
the
know,
legal stuff?
actually, I think they would because now since they put in a copyright claim, it could be they're ones who probably hire the lawyers for it.
Maybe that'd be a good idea to ask them, just to make sure you've
actually-
got that covered.
I did actually broach this to them and broach this to him in one of our in the Wicked DM on Twitter that it might be a good idea to have a lawyer on retainer. Problem is, again, lawyers are not cheap.
Yep.
It's always good to be friends with one.
Yeah. Well, Scott's a public attorney though.
So Gorgonite elaborated.
Wasn't necessary. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Gorgonite elaborated. The character is one Mitra Aldivero. Oops. Scrolled up. Hold on. I gotta go over there.
I got this.
All right.
Character is one Mitra Aldivero, aka Xanthos, a black market alchemist who is a remnant. Remnants are souls from different universes that find their ways into the Mythoverse and reincarnate into said universe. Essentially, these souls are given a second chance at life, retain all their memories of their past life, which messes with their coping of being in the Mythoverse. That has some potential, actually.
Yeah. If you haven't read the novel W. Kroger Knight Errant, there's similar ideas being explored there. So that would actually fit in with what was already established.
Yeah. This might actually be a good Phase 3 book. We should maybe... did we send Gorgonite an invite?
I mean, to our Discord?
You know, I don't think he is in there.
Well, then get him one. Dang. If he's not in the Discord, get him one.
Is he? Hold up. Let me search. Let me search the members. How do you find it? Okay, this is what... No, that's not what I want. Shit. Oh wait, I know how to do this. I type in Gorgonite, he doesn't come up on the Discord list. He doesn't look like he's in. But yeah.
Yeah, get him an invite.
Yeah, I'll send him an invite right now.
Reading through what he's putting in the chat on the stream, I can honestly say, like, I am more than interested. Like, this seems like it could be a fantastic series.
Yeah, it could.
And he says he ain't there.
Well, get him there.
I'm working on it.
You had one damn job, Brett.
Gosh, Brett.
Gorgonite says he's not there.
I heard the first time. Shut up.
Brett, could you get him an invite to the Discord, please?
Hey, Brett. Brett. Gorgonite's not there.
I just DM'd right now.
Well,
hey, Brett, do me a favor, Brett. Could you get him an invite to the Discord?
Jeez. All right, continuing what Gorgonite was saying, he said, think tomorrow you woke up and the entire Earth's geography is upside down and everybody's speaking backwards. This is how it's like for Mitra, who's one of the few remnants who managed to cope with it, but her past life and past pain prevents her from having inner peace. This is a whole different can of worms, but the long and short of it is Mitra's past life is really bad, supernatural fuckery. Anyway, in between running and underground alchemical potions, runes, talismans, and enchanted shop, she's searching for magical items to put her soul's trauma at ease. I like that. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
It sounds very epic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're bringing... Yeah, that's something I definitely want to add. We could definitely add for Phase 3.
Seems like you're a little less spooked on the multiverse idea now.
Yeah.
Well, it is sort of hinted at, like I said, in the novel Knight Errant. It's not blatantly called the multiverse, but it's heavily implied. So yeah, that would actually fit quite nicely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of enjoying watching the stream right now as you're just beating the crap out of everyone with every single martini glass and ashtray that you can find. I'm dying there.
I'm getting a little bit desperate because I'm having a hard time beating the pattern here. So
these guys always follow the same and make the same moves every single time.
Mm-hmm. And your advantage is that you can pause time almost entirely.
Yeah. This is where Adobe comes in, depending on how Dan wants it. Mitra and Adobe met during Adobe's time in the Order of the Carolingian Cross. You got an invite to the Discord, Gorgonite. I DM'd it to you over Twitter. Just hop in and we'll talk, and we can talk more.
Yes.
So
I just want to say that Gorgonite was on my server before yours, so that just makes me a cool kid for a few minutes.
Beating Super Hot is less about getting good and more about memorization.
Yeah, it's not really an action game. It's more of a puzzle game.
Huh. Oh, and there's Cody.
Cody, all right. For those that don't know, Cody has launched another campaign for the second book in the Ironverse.
Yeah, Cactus Coyote. That's
which I will be backing once I get paid day after tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll definitely be. I've still got my phone bill to pay, and I'll be looking at banking after that's taken care of.
Yep, it is bookmarked, and as soon as I get my my paycheck, it will be backed.
And yeah, Cody just dropped the link to the Cactus Coyote Indiegogo, so if you guys want to check that out, click on that.
Son of a bitch.
And Gorgonite's on the server.
Could you get him an invite, please?
He is on the server.
All right, but we need to get him an invite. Could you do that, please?
I don't think he's in there yet.
I will kick all your teeth in for that.
Oh my. Brett, why are you being so violent?
Guys.
You just invited the spirit of dead air.
Brett.
Yep. Just fuck you, that's why.
Hey Brett, why you mad, bro? Why you mad? You mad, bro? Brett?
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do what Maeve does and leave.
Aw, Brett, come on.
I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. Shut up.
He's losing his mind.
Oh, there goes Brett. You guys made him rage quit. Way to go.
I had no hand in this.
I'd say give him like 5 minutes. He'll be back.
Hey,
what if
Brett,
he isn't, though?
temper.
Brett in the chat says, fuck all you. And Ironverse Comics replies, love you all.
That's fine, Brett, but could you please get him into the Discord?
Oh, boy.
You know, Brett, I don't think my girlfriend would like you making those advances on me. I'm sorry.
Gorgonite says Brett needs a Snickers.
And I think my computer just partially potatoed out. Now the mouse isn't working.
Ow, ow, ow. What was that noise?
I'm sorry, frantically mashing my mouse pad on my laptop because it has now made me mad.
Don't pull a Brett. Control your emotions.
Maybe Lenore and Vamp hexed his computer as well.
You know, that would be just my luck, but I don't think I've done anything hex-worthy yet.
We've all done something hex-worthy, and if you say you haven't, then you're probably hiding something.
Yeah.
Yikes. Hey Dan, it looks like Brett has something he wants to play on the stream.
Just sent Dan my mood.
Okay, I think we made fun of Brett enough.
All right. But I just wanted to make sure he got Gorgonite in the Discord.
I thought he wasn't in there.
All right, hang on. All right. Brett wants me to play something. Okay. Hold on. Fine.
Will Brett be coming back after we play this video then?
Well,
Or
yeah.
is he just completely done?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay, there we go. I think my computer was just having a moment.
Kick your fucking ass!
I'm like,
I want you off the
seriously
fucking
curious, did we
set,
piss
you
him off to the
prick!
point where he's legitimately hurt? 'Cause
No,
that
don't
was
just
not
be
my
sorry.
intention.
Think for one fucking second.
Oh,
What
Brett
the
says
fuck
maybe.
are you doing? Are you professional or not? Yes, I am. Do I fucking walk around and rip that? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up. Am I gonna walk around and rip your fucking lights down in the middle of a scene? Then why the fuck are you walking right through? Da-da-da-da, like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you? What don't you fucking understand? You got any fucking idea about, hey, it's fucking distracting having somebody walking up behind Bryce in the middle of the fucking scene.
It's fucking distracting
Give me
having
a
you ask
fucking
me to get
answer.
Gorgonite in the server
What don't you get
over
about
and
it?
over again. What don't you fucking understand?
Oh, good for you. And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it? Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
Oh man, yeah, that's absolutely classic. All right, Brett, we love you. Come back.
Kick your fucking ass.
Oh my.
It's okay, Brett. But look, could you get Gorgonite into the server already?
And he's ever coming back.
Stream with Brett, did you make sure Gorgonite's in the server?
You're gonna get a Cuban necktie for that.
As long as I don't get some cement shoes. Dan Sacker says. Anyway, go ahead.
Is there a difference between Colombian and Cuban neckties?
Probably not. Okay, Gorgonite says, anyway, how she'll tie with Adobe is she got Adobe to agree to do a favor for her in exchange. She'd ignore the large bill Adobe racked up. Mitra owns a bar, which serves as a front.
Cody asks, is Gorgonite in the server yet? Brett?
He's in the motherfucking server. You can stop asking now.
And that's actually in character, because if you've read the novel, she racks up 5 Guinnesses before she knew what happened. All right. And she is a notoriously prolific drinker. I think I hit a brick wall with this level. I could have sworn I passed it before, but I'm not having any luck tonight.
When you throw the bottle coming right out of the bathroom, try arcing it up a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how physics completely work in the game. I haven't played Super Hot. But I remember they have a little more drop than you think they do. That's one of the things I always noticed while watching, obviously some of the bigger names going and playing it, like Mark and Jack.
Yeah, that seemed to work. I aimed a little bit higher that time, and I got him in the head. All right. Give me that.
Gorgonite says, yup, I've done my homework on Adobe.
Nice. All right.
So that means if we need something programmed, we can have him do it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I outfitted a Gorgonite with a Wicked and Writer's role on the Discord.
Sweet. Ah, that worked. Got him right in the head. Thanks for that tip.
There you go.
Nice.
Acrobat or Cody asks, Acrobat or Reader?
Oh shit.
Hey, Brett. I'll just to make sure that you're not too angry, I'll ask Dan something that is gonna bug him.
Oh, okay.
What?
Where's the hoodie, Lebowski?
I don't know. Let me check in the toilet again. Might be down there.
God damn that. Actually, but I guess actually, I mean, like, it's a good question. Like, where are we progress-wise on the hoodies right now?
Where are we progress-wise in the hoodies? We have, I think, 3 of them that are earless right now. That's the thing, is getting her enough time to sew the ears on. But yeah, we're progressing. I just haven't been able to show you a completed one yet, and that's what's been bugging me.
Honestly, I kind of understand the struggle. One of the things that I've been trying to work on in my spare time, which is strangely next to none right now, is making pretty much regulation size dice bags for Dungeons and Dragons in my spare time, because here, I'm gonna post a picture of an example of some of the work that I've done before. But I enjoy going and sewing and just making unique looking pretty much bags to carry things, because I always have a lot of just interesting knickknacks to carry in my day-to-day life.
Gorgonite says, and what do you know? Mitra just found a location for the Arthurian Holy Grail, and she's got someone who owes her a favor. This trip also may involve some, stealing from the Carolingian cloth.
That sounds like a great idea.
I'm digging it. I want to hear more. Do you have a newsletter I can subscribe to? Shoot. Oh.
You see,
he might be able to post his ideas if he gets on the Discord server.
Yeah, but he needs an invite first.
You see, I believe calling it stealing is a very impolite word. You see, if I remember correctly, as Captain Jack Sparrow liked to say, you're just borrowing it without permission.
It's fair. That's a fair. It's a fair way of putting it.
People should look to Jack Sparrow for more life advice. The world would be a better place.
Ironverse says, Cody says, that was a dick shot, Dan. Never dick shot. But you always dick shot. That's how you win.
Jack doesn't.
Jack doesn't dick shot?
Well, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Although Cody would be the authority on that.
I mean, Jack's been alive for so
shoot
long.
him in the dick, buddy.
He's been alive so long, I highly doubt that he's never dick shot. He had to have at least once in his long lifespan.
Maybe. I mean, like, it's got to be possible that not all of Jack's past lives, he was a good person. Like, he said to have had 1 or 2 where he might have been a complete son of a bitch.
Wait, Jack Sparrow? What Jack?
Jack Irons.
Jack Irons, yeah.
Oh,
That Jack.
I'm sorry. It just someone mentioned.
Cody says, no, sir.
Too many Jacks.
Cody says, no, sir, unless the being he's shooting's genitalia is also a vital life point, and no, sir, lots of awful lives. So he's had a whole lot of them where he's just been a fucking asshole.
Pretty much.
So Jack has not always been a good person. That's actually, that I kind of have to commend Cody for that he is willing to give his main character that kind of baggage.
It's not just baggage, he's got a whole cargo train.
Gorgonite says, "See, Brett, that pitch wasn't so painful, was it? Also, please invite me.
Still
I'm
not on
still
the...
not in the server."
Jeez,
Oh my
man.
God, it's like I'll just have Lenore and Vamp hex all you guys.
But they have too much fun hexing you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a problem with that
This
plan.
is actually part of the hex that we just torment you constantly.
Hey. I've been a good person. I haven't done anything today to deserve hexing.
Today, but what about tomorrow? And any day in the future?
Or the nights that you work.
Yeah, this is pre-hexing.
You see, we don't count what happens on, at night. Because I work during the night. And you don't want to hear half of the things that come out of my mouth, because I swear I could probably make a sailor blush some days with how bad I get.
Challenge accepted.
I figured about the only person he had to out curse at this point would be Brian. And Cody
Brian
just
Michael defend us. After seeing the latest review.
and Cody just dropped a link to his Discord.
Well, he needs some Discord home because he's not in ours yet.
Gorgonite says, implying I'm not cursed already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure just being Gorgonite is enough of a curse.
Ooh. That was harsh.
That was pretty cruel.
That was a burn.
Yeah, I got him.
I think Brett's been put through enough. I think he gets a mean boy pass for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Good.
All right.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy.
You just can't use it against me.
I may or may not use it against you. Depends on my mood, Salem. Oh, and Gorgonite agrees with me.
All right, that's enough super hot for me. God damn it.
We've gone over for about 107 minutes.
Yep. Yeah,
Super hot?
Yeah.
How about super not?
It's one of those games I can play with half my attention.
Okay, so I guess to recap, okay, so next week's art contest theme is summer camp. So yeah, we've added Moe for merchandise for Indiegogo, Xeno for concept art. We've got Troy and Gorgonite who are going to be leading the pack for Phase 3, and we've capped off all our Phase 2 admissions with the 5 we have from Eric, Dylan, Brisnatron, let's see, what's that? Duckwill, and is that it? I feel like I'm missing someone at this. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Well, we're missing Gorgonite because he's not in the server yet.
You just can't stop. Oh, Sauron. Yeah, that's what I almost forgot.
Yeah, we can't forget Sauron. He's got those 4 nifty swordsmen.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Brisnatron, Sauron, Duskquill, Eric, and Dylan. They're gonna be coming in Phase 5. Gorgonite and Troy come in Phase 3. Phase 3, and we're just gonna be playing it by ear at that point. See what we can handle. Hopefully Phase 1 creates enough of a foundation that we can build off of that. Mm-hmm. And as things stand, we are positioned very well to pull that off.
Yes, absolutely. In the short term, I am out of the country next week, so next week's Radio Mythoverse, Brett and Matt will be hosting it. Sans me. So hopefully by then, Gorgonite will be in the server, and we can get started getting his ideas integrated. And when I get back, I hope to have some genuine updates with the hoodies. I think we should have at least 3 or 4 of them done. We'll see. And I'll post a nice picture of them. And like I said, I'm not going to mail them out until they're all done, so it's all fair for everybody.
Yeah.
And Thanks, everyone. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to mention or plug or talk about before we sign off for the night?
Just remember to keep an eye on Raven's Kickstarter, or for when it goes live in October. There's also donate to the Cactus Coyote Indiegogo if you can.
Please support Cody in the Ironverse. He is really bringing the heat and making some excellent waves in the indie comic scene with his Jack Irons and associated works. And his issue 2 is looking really tight, and I'm thrilled that he is able to produce the work that he has in his head. It makes everything more interesting. So don't forget also, in terms of Raven, her Patreon, please support her there. I'll leave a link to the Patreon in the description of this video once we're done. Is there anything else?
Keep an eye out for our audio cast, and anyone who's in the Discord, if you got an idea of what to call the audio cast series, just pitch it, and we'll consider it.
Yep, and if your idea is selected, like I said, you will be added as a recurring character in the stories. So primarily, that might be added in the framing device we have around each chapter. That helps build up the Mythoverse. And if you're interested, like Brett said, let us know what you got. Matt, anything else?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
That's it. Well, before Brett started, just to keep an eye out for more Mythics updates as they come.
Yep, and follow us on Twitter, Mythoverse Comics, Dan_Sakuro, Celtic Brett, and Matt Trin on Twitter. And if you're in the Discord, keep an eye out for the book updates. And each book has its own section in which we will place updates as far as sketches. And there's discussions going on in terms of plot theories and developments. That's always really exciting.
And and like I said, next week's art contest. Have your entries in by Tuesday. Theme is summer camp.
Summer camp, yes. All right, guys. Thank you very much for chatting. Thanks for sitting through all of the torment, Brett. And thank you for finally getting Gorgonite on the server. And we will see you all next week. Next week, it's just Brett and Matt, as I will be unreachable off the grid.
Well, try not to torture you guys too much.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for chatting. And thank you for being part of this community. It's gratifying as hell. Can't wait to grow it. Until next week.